In July 1947, the United States experienced a surge in UFO sightings, with people in many small towns reporting strange flying objects in the sky. These objects were described as flying saucers. Just before this wave of reports, on June 24th, a private pilot named Kenneth Arnold claimed he saw 9 UFOs flying at an incredible speed of 2,000 km/h near a mountain close to Seattle.
Reports that strange flying discs have been whizzing at 1,200 miles an hour over the western United States.
Within just 2 weeks, the news of UFO sightings spread quickly. Media outlets across the country were discussing these mysterious flying objects. There was a growing belief that these UFOs had been seen all over the United States. The media started connecting these UFO sightings to areas where nuclear testing was being conducted. They noted that sightings were reported in 3 regions where atomic activities were taking place. In New Mexico, a man named Mac Brazel recalled seeing something strange in his field about 3 weeks earlier. He found materials like tinfoil, rubber, and thin wooden beams, but couldn't figure out what they were. Brazel thought the strange materials might be connected to the UFO sightings, so on July 7th, he took the tinfoil to the sheriff in Roswell. This incident caught the attention of Colonel William Blanchard, the commanding officer at Roswell Army Airfield. The next day, the Roswell Army Airfield released a statement claiming they had recovered a flying disc. The Army said the 509th Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force at Roswell was lucky enough to obtain the disc. This was seen as proof of UFOs, but the Army retracted their statement the following day. The Army then claimed that the mysterious tinfoil was actually from a weather balloon. They released photos of Major Marcel holding pieces of the supposed balloon to support their story, and the media's interest in the UFO incident quickly died down. As people lost interest in UFOs, the media dropped the story. But in the late 1970s, rumors began to resurface, suggesting that an alien craft had crashed in the New Mexico desert. In 1980, Major Marcel published a book titled The Roswell Incident, in which he claimed that the object Brazel found was not of earthly origin. He insisted that the materials were not something made on Earth, reigniting the debate around the Roswell UFO event. Since the publication of the book, more theories have emerged about the Roswell incident. Some people believe that a living alien was recovered from the UFO crash and taken to a secret facility by the US military. According to some theories, the US military has been working to reverse engineer alien technology and conduct research on extraterrestrial life. However, all of this is said to be happening in a highly classified location. That secret place is called Area 51. In this video, we will explore the mystery surrounding Area 51, a site that has fascinated Americans since the late 1940s. But before we get into it, subscribe.
Since the late 1940s, Americans have been fascinated by a mysterious region in Nevada known as Area 51.
What exactly goes on at Area 51?
The Area 51.
Area 51.
Area 51.
The Air Force has recently made public an archive of UFO reports and investigations.
Are there any alien remains in Area 51?
Area 51 is located in the Nevada desert, far away from any city. It is a US military facility, and entry to the area is strictly prohibited. Warning signs around the site caution that deadly force could be used against intruders. Many questions remain about what goes on at Area 51. Are there alien remains stored there? The Air Force has released some reports on UFO sightings, but much about Area 51 is still shrouded in secrecy. The area is heavily restricted, with signs warning that photography is not allowed, and any suspicious activity will be met with a severe response. Access to Area 51 is completely off limits to the public. The security around Area 51 is extremely tight, with signs stating that lethal force may be used against trespassers. The location's secrecy and strict security measures add to the intrigue surrounding it. In June 2019, Joe Rogan, a popular podcaster, interviewed Bob Lazar, a man who claims to have worked at Area 51. Lazar has become a cult figure among UFO enthusiasts for his alleged knowledge of extraterrestrial technology. Lazar claims that he worked as a researcher at Area 51, where he studied alien technology. His job, according to him, was to reverse engineer alien crafts to improve current human technology.
Was to back engineer the alien craft. I went into the hangar door, and in the hangar door was the disc, the flying saucer that I worked.
After listening to this interview, a college student named Matty Roberts became inspired and curious. He wondered what the government might be hiding at Area 51 and thought it would be interesting to find out. Roberts created a Facebook event called Storm Area 51. They can't stop all of us. The idea was that if a large group of people tried to enter Area 51 all at once, the government would be unable to stop them. The event quickly gained popularity. Roberts proposed that people gather at Area 51 on September 20th, 2019, and storm the facility together. Though it was meant as a joke, people started taking it seriously. By the end of August, over 2 million people had responded confirming that they would attend and storm Area 51. When Matty Roberts saw how popular the event had become, he started to worry. He made it clear that the event was a joke and that he had no real intention of leading a raid on a military facility. The event description included strange and humorous details, such as suggesting that participants should run like Naruto, a character from a Japanese anime who runs with his arms stretched behind him. The idea was that they could outrun bullets if they ran this way. Despite the humorous tone, many people took the event seriously. As the event gained more attention, it became clear that some people actually planned to show up at Area 51. By the end of August 2019, over 2 million people had expressed interest in the event, planning to storm Area 51. This made Roberts nervous, and he tried to distance himself from the event, explaining that it was all a joke. Roberts publicly stated that he never intended for anyone to actually attempt entering Area 51. He emphasized that if people did try to break in, he would not be responsible for the consequences.
As a joke on Facebook now has reached millions of people, and it's turning into an alien enthusiast festival.
And I just created a joke while I was playing video games, man, and it's taken off to this like absolutely wild monster. So the FBI agents that showed up, they showed up at 10 a.m. So because I was kind of scared at this.
Even though millions were interested, getting to Area 51 is no easy task. The base is located deep in the Nevada desert, far from any city, making access extremely difficult. To reach Area 51, people would have to travel through a 250-kilometer stretch of desert with no amenities like gas stations. The desert is also brutally hot, with daytime temperatures exceeding 40 degrees Celsius. Near Area 51 is a small village called Rachel, with a population of only 54 people as of 2019. It's a tiny, isolated community in the middle of the Nevada desert. Rachel's location adds to the mystery of Area 51, which is the largest government-controlled area in the United States. The surrounding area, known as the Nevada Test and Training Range, spans more than 12,000 square kilometers. Next to Area 51 is the Nevada Test Site, where the U.S. conducted nuclear weapons tests from the 1950s to the 1990s. Because of the dangerous nature of the activities in the area, strict security measures are in place. Given that nuclear weapons were tested in this region, it's understandable why the area remains highly restricted. It's essential to keep this place off limits due to its past military activities. To understand Area 51's significance, it's important to look at its history. The base's origins are tied to the Cold War, when the US and the Soviet Union were engaged in a tense rivalry. Area 51 was established during the Cold War, a period marked by fear and paranoia about communism. It was created as a testing facility for advanced military aircraft, which made it a highly secretive location. The purpose of Area 51 was to test new types of aircraft and develop cutting-edge military technology. In the 1950s, some of the most important spy planes in U.S. history were tested there. Because so many critical military projects were carried out at Area 51, it was kept shrouded in secrecy from the very beginning. Little information was made public, leading to speculation and conspiracy theories. In 1954, President Dwight Eisenhower requested a secret location where high-altitude reconnaissance programs could be developed. This led to the creation of Area 51 as a top-secret testing ground for spy planes. 2 CIA agents were tasked with finding a remote location for testing. They discovered a dry lake bed called Groom Lake, which became the site for top-secret work. This area, later known as Area 51, was ideal for testing high-tech military aircraft away from the public eye. One of the first major projects at Area 51 was the development of the U-2 spy plane, which could fly at extremely high altitudes, undetected by enemy radar. This aircraft played a vital role in U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. In 1953, President Eisenhower launched a secret program called Project Aquatone to create a spy plane that could cover long distances without refueling, carry heavy cameras, and fly at altitudes beyond the reach of anti-aircraft missiles. This project resulted in the U-2, one of the most significant spy planes in history. After a U-2 spy plane was shot down in Soviet airspace in 1960, the U.S. needed a more advanced aircraft. This led to the development of the SR-71 Blackbird, the fastest plane in the world, capable of flying at speeds up to 3,400 km per hour and altitudes of 24,000 meters, making it nearly impossible to shoot down. During the Cold War, it was critical to keep these planes hidden from the public and enemy nations. To maintain secrecy, the CIA fueled rumors about UFOs, allowing the public to believe the strange aircraft sightings were of extraterrestrial origin. The U.S. government neither confirmed nor denied the existence of UFOs, which helped maintain the secrecy around Area 51. The public's belief in flying saucers served as a convenient cover for the secret military projects happening there. By allowing people to think they were seeing UFOs, the government was able to divert attention from their top-secret military programs. This theory suggests that UFO sightings were used as a way to hide the true nature of the activities at Area 51. After just a day of speculation, the government explained the strange sightings as merely a weather balloon. But as I mentioned earlier, in the 1970s, interest in UFOs reignited. This happened when the Blackbird, also known as the SR-71, was being tested. The roar of this advanced plane fueled conspiracy theories, suggesting that there was more to the story. During the testing of the SR-71 Blackbird, a legendary pilot took the aircraft on its first flight. While this was an extraordinary event, the facts we know today, particularly from the 1994 revelations, still haven't stopped conspiracy theorists from speculating. A well-known conspiracy theorist claimed in 1989 that he worked at Area 51, specifically in a sector called S4, where he allegedly worked on alien spacecraft. According to him, the government contracted him to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology. However, many credible experts today believe these claims are nothing more than fiction. The viral Storm Area 51 event had over 2 million people pledging to attend, but only around 30,000 were realistically expected. The military prepared for a crowd because of Area 51's isolated location, but they didn't know exactly how many would actually show up. In the end, instead of the 30,000 expected, only 6,000 people showed up. This event turned into more of a festival, with people camping in tents and partying rather than attempting to storm the base. The event took on a fun, alien-themed vibe, and organizer Matty Roberts started calling it Alien Stock. The gathering ended up being peaceful, despite initial concerns from law enforcement. No property was damaged at Area 51, but the event did cost the local sheriff's office around $3 million to manage, due to the heavy police presence required. The story returns to the famous Roswell incident, where the U.S. military originally said the debris recovered was from a weather balloon. In 1994, the U.S. Air Force clarified that it was actually a nuclear surveillance balloon from a project called Mogul, designed to detect sound waves from Soviet nuclear tests. The initial deception has only fueled conspiracy theories, as people became increasingly suspicious of the government's honesty. Many UFO sightings can be explained by the testing of high-altitude aircraft, like the U-2 and SR-71, which flew at altitudes of up to 26,000 meters. These tests often took place around sunset, leading to mysterious sightings. The combination of high-tech aircraft and unusual flight conditions made these planes appear otherworldly to those unaware of their true nature. During the late 1950s and 1960s, many UFO sightings were debunked after flight records were checked. What people thought were UFOs were often military aircraft being tested at high altitudes. This helped explain most of the reports. Then came Bob Lazar, a controversial figure, claimed he worked on alien technology at Area 51. He also talked about Element 115, which he said was used to power alien spacecraft. However, experts later debunked these claims.
Element 115 is a super heavy element, but it's a unique element. When it's exposed to radiation, it produces its own gravitational field, its own anti-gravitational field, and it's what's used to lift and propel the craft and create distortions around it.
Element 115, later named moscovium, was synthesized by Russian scientists in 2003, but it never displayed the properties Lazar described. His educational background also came under scrutiny, with no evidence supporting his claims of attending prestigious institutions like MIT. In June 2013, the CIA finally acknowledged the existence of Area 51 in response to a request filed under the Freedom of Information Act. This declassification revealed some of the history of the site, but for those hoping to uncover evidence of aliens, the documents were disappointing. The information focused mainly on military aircraft development rather than extraterrestrial activity.
Newly released CIA documents officially acknowledge the site for the first time. But if you're looking to gain insight into aliens or spaceships, you might be disappointed.
In January 2017, the CIA released 13 million pages of declassified documents online, including records of UFO sightings and military experiments. Then, in January 2021, even more documents were made available, shedding light on the government's investigations into unidentified flying objects, UFOs, and other phenomena. One of the major turning points in UFO history was when a U-2 spy plane was shot down by the Soviet Union on May 1, 1960. This top-secret mission brought attention to the existence of these high-altitude aircraft, contributing to the development of conspiracy theories about UFOs. Some of the declassified reports were quite fascinating, including mysterious sightings in Russia and Azerbaijan. Today, however, the US government no longer uses the term UFO due to its association with extraterrestrials. Instead, they now refer to these events as UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena, which could be linked to military or other experimental technology. In 2020, the U.S. Department of Defense created a UAP task force to study these phenomena. This task force's mission is to detect, analyze, and catalog UAPs, as they could pose a potential threat to national security. This marked a shift from dismissing UFOs to taking a serious scientific approach to understanding unidentified objects in the sky. In recent years, there have been many UAP sightings, some witnessed by U.S. pilots themselves. While these objects remain unexplained,
different data sets that came in that we looked at, tried to figure out what they were. There were some that turned out to be weather balloons, for example. In fact, there were several, but there were many that there is not enough data and sensor data. When we had a lot of sensor data on some of them, that we couldn't determine what they are.
It's important to note that no one claims these sightings are of alien origin. Instead, they are considered part of highly classified projects or phenomena that remain under investigation. Today, Area 51 continues to serve as a testing ground for next-generation military aircraft. Though its secrets have been partially revealed, it remains a symbol of mystery and speculation, attracting attention from people worldwide. In 1996, the state of Nevada renamed a highway near Area 51 the Extraterrestrial Highway, capitalizing on the site's global fame to boost tourism. Visitors flock to the area out of curiosity, but they are warned not to trespass on military grounds, as some have been arrested for trying to enter the base illegally.
And identified themselves as YouTubers who acknowledged they saw the no trespassing signs at the Mercury Highway entrance, but went in anyway. They have been charged with trespassing.
In conclusion, while Area 51 may not hold the secrets to extraterrestrial life that many believe, its association with UFOs and conspiracy theories has made it a global phenomenon. From the Roswell incident to modern-day UAP sightings, the mystery surrounding this remote military base continues to captivate people's imaginations. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.